I have a bench upstairs. So we are here today to ask that you, as our elected officials, take leadership in adopting the legislation that we know now has a name, Civil Marriage Protection Act, Senate Bill 241. Because we are here because we want to make sure to guarantee the civil rights of same-gender loving couples to marry with the same benefits as other married couples here in Maryland. We are persons of faith who believe that this legislation is a matter of justice and equality. Our congregations include people whose right of equal protection under the law is being denied. It hurts our couples, it hurts their family and friends, it hurts us as congregations to see people that we know and love being discriminated against. It hurts our community, our state, and our nation when we do not offer equal protection to all. And we know that there are a variety of religious and theological perspectives on this issue, and we're not here to argue theology. We are here to share our conviction that from our faith perspective, this is a matter of justice. Our congregations welcome members of the LGBT community into full participation, and advocating for justice and full participation of all people in congregations and society is historically a part of all our congregations as Jews and as Christians gathered here today. We are accountable to our God, speaking out whenever and wherever there is injustice. We are blessed to live in a nation where elected officials are to be held accountable to hearing the stories of their constituents. And for this, we are grateful for your presence here this evening. We appreciate that you care enough about us as your constituents, as members of our congregations, to come and hear our stories, and hear those stories with power and with strength, proclaiming that we need to secure the rights of LGBT persons in marriage. It is democratic, and it is for us a part of a long line of faithful advocacy for those who have been overlooked, ignored, or denied their rights. We will now hear stories from members of our congregations who will testify to what marriage equality will mean to them. And we hope that these testimonies will inspire you further to take leadership in adopting Civil Marriage Protection Act, Senate Bill 241. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Linda Sobel, social work professor at Hood College. I'm also a licensed clinical social worker in the Frederick community in private practice, and I'm a member of Beth Shalom congregation. This is Betsy Van Ness, my soulmate, the love of my life, and my partner for the last 34 years.
Hi, I am a member of the Unity Church in Frederick. I am also a clinical social worker, and I've worked in Frederick for many years. Linda and I have each contributed, we figure, over 25 years of mental health services to Frederick County citizens and training and education of social work students. I was married right out of college, and we had two wonderful daughters. My husband and I separated after a few years when I came to fully understand that I was gay. We remained strong co-parents and close friends. I fell in love with Linda 34 years ago. My children, ages 7 and 9 at that time, gained another parent. We had a very close extended family with my former husband before he passed away when our daughters were in their 20s.
We're very close with our two grown daughters, our son-in-laws, and our 5 grandchildren, who range from 10 to 17. We're typical grandmas who just came back from seeing our granddaughter in a cheerleading competition, and we like to watch our grandsons and our other granddaughter in soccer practice or their karate training. We try to introduce our grandchildren to the world outside their neighborhood, cherishing special time with each of them traveling around the United States. We love Frederick, we love Maryland, we love our country, but unfortunately we are not protected legally as a couple. We're not entitled to each other's Social Security or retirement. We had to put our house and other assets in trust so that we wouldn't have to pay taxes on half our house that we owned if one of us were to die. I adopted our grown daughters a few years ago for estate reasons so that we would be recognized as related. The girls had to go to court with us on a weekday when they live out of state. So one year after Thanksgiving, our daughter from Florida kept her children out of school, excuse me, and our daughter who lives in New Jersey stayed an extra day so that they could be at this court proceeding and affirm that they wanted me to adopt them. I was aware of how much they were putting themselves out, and I felt so grateful they were going this extra mile. I had promised my grandsons we would go for pancakes at IHOP after. When we got there, I was even more grateful and surprised when the girls pulled out a card that said, "Why didn't we do this a long time ago?" And they presented me with a necklace that said "Mom" on it. It was very embarrassing to be so weepy in IHOP with no belly.
Our children were in their 30s at the time, and we just thought it was so funny when our 7-year-old granddaughter went to school the next day and then proudly announced to her teacher and friends, "My mommy just got adopted."
There are many reasons why all couples need legal protection in Maryland. Imagine if your spouse was having major surgery and you had to do as I did. I called her doctor before him. I called the hospital admissions director to be sure I would be able to stay with her as she wished and to make decisions for her, even though I had advance directives and a medical power of attorney. When you are a gay couple, even after people reassure you, you really don't know if the documents like directives will be honored at the time that you need them, since you're not legally recognized as related to this person. Imagine the additional anxiety you would have about that while worrying about your loved one's health. There are many men and women like Betsy and me and Frederick, and even more in Maryland, who deserve to have equal treatment under the law. We should be able to be granted the same civil rights as all Marylanders without encroaching on anyone else's religious rights. After all, other states have figured out how to do that.
Now, we know that we could go to Washington, D.C. or Massachusetts to get married, but we don't want to do that. We are Maryland citizens, and we want to get married in Maryland. So after waiting 34 years, we hope that this year it will become a reality.
My name is Pat Hanbury. I'm a member of this church, Evangelical Reformed United Church of Christ, and I'm here representing a couple who are also members who cannot represent themselves. I shouldn't be the one speaking. They should be. To me, it's a travesty that in the year 2012, there are people who not only cannot marry whom they choose, but who cannot even present themselves publicly as who they are for fear of repercussions from others in their lives. That being said, I'm very proud to pass their words on to you. As we are growing up, most of us have the expectations, if not the dream, of getting married to the person we love and perhaps raising children together. If you are gay, you perceive from an early age that these dreams, which most people take for granted by so many, may not be available to you. This begins a well of sadness around the topic of marriage, which grows through the years. My partner and I have been together for 23 years. We have a child whom we adopted in 2 phases due to the inability of gay couples to adopt in 1992, when one of us adopted our child. It was not until 2005 that the other parent was able to adopt our child. Like most gay couples in a committed relationship, we have identified a day that we celebrate as our anniversary, but have been denied a legal ceremony to mark the beginning of our life together. Getting married is something we have discussed from time to time. Our only option in the state of Maryland would be a union ceremony. We have no desire to travel to another state to get married because part of the joy of the celebration for us would be to share it with the family and friends that we love in our church home. It is a deep desire of our hearts to stand before God, family, and friends and pledge our commitment and love. Although we respect others who have chosen to have union ceremonies, we believe strongly that unless we can have a legal marriage recognized by the state, we are play acting, and we're not interested in doing that. Until all people have the same rights and freedoms, none of us is truly free.
My name is Glenn Wallace.
And my name is Jim White. We attend ERUCC as part of their community. Glenn has lived in the state of Maryland for over 20 years. I am a lifelong resident. I was born in Bethesda in 1958, and I've lived here my entire life. As part of ERUCC, but more important, as part of the state of Maryland, we pride ourselves on being part of the overall community. We pride ourselves on taking action within the community. We pride ourselves on helping others within our community. For 15 years now, we have been a couple. We have done the civil union here, and Glenn will talk more about what we have also done, but we participate in the community as a couple. Most people that we come in contact with do not know that we're a couple. That's not how we present ourselves. We present ourselves as people who have been taught and raised to give back. It is part of our firm moral belief that that is what each of us are called to do, to help others. When we got together, and it was 15 years ago, my health at the time was an issue. And we realized that we could not have the same protection. And we paid thousands of dollars to be able to get for us the protection that would take care of us when we went to the hospital. As a couple in the community, no one has ever questioned us about that. No one has ever wondered. We have always given back and strongly supported. We today are asking for support also.
We were once told by a state employee, and I'll quote, and I'll never forget it, "Your endeavors together are far greater than what you do individually. And as a united couple, you too will change this world." That was said to us. That was said to us by the Justice of the Peace at our civil marriage in Boston in 2008. How we wish to God those words were said to us in the State Building in Annapolis. This morning, our congregation, our community here at church, said these words in our bulletin. I think the irony will show itself. When we get tired or feel disappointed, remind us that you can bring change and hope out of the most difficult situations, so that we may do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with you always. And I am grateful that you are here to hear those words. And I'm even more grateful that you are here.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Cahill. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out tonight. I certainly didn't expect this many people to show up, so thanks to all of you.
And I'm Patty Walker, partner of Kelly Cahill. Kelly and I have been together for 17 years. Kelly has been a federal employee with the National Institutes of Health for 20 years, and I am a 30-year veteran of the Montgomery County Police Department. So we feel like we, like you, have a goal, an intention, a heart to help others. We're doing our best. Kelly and I are amongst the fortunate, though. We have very supportive families. Kelly's family's from Minnesota, and my 7 siblings and my mother are scattered throughout the Eastern Shore. But they're all very supportive of us, and so we're very fortunate. We're also fortunate to live in Montgomery County, and as a Montgomery County employee, we have domestic partner benefits. So Kelly and our 2 children are on my health insurance. Kelly and I are lucky enough to have a very healthy 10-year-old and an 11-year-old, soon to be 12 in 1 week. So we have domestic partner benefits. Kelly would receive my benefits if something were to happen to me in the line of duty. Conversely, though, I do not receive Kelly's benefits, and she's a federal employee, but they don't have those benefits, of course. So, because I have the benefits already, domestic partner benefits, this bill isn't quite as important to us as it is to many other gay and lesbian couples who don't have those benefits. So personally, I see this kind of as a stepping stone to federal equality laws and benefits, and if we can be the 7th, soon to be 7th state to receive those rights, that hopefully we'll start pushing the whole country in that direction, and hopefully we'll But as important as this law is, it's not going to change the way Kelly and I function every day. You know, we go to basketball practice and we go to Girl Scouts and we function as a family and we eat dinner every night together. And we already are a family. We already are committed. We other than having a legal ceremony, nothing is going to change in our lives other than those legal benefits that we could get. But it will change the way other people view us. And it may change the way other people view our children and our family. And that is key. I don't want our children. So what everybody is doing tonight is very important. And from the bottom of our hearts, Kelly and I are very grateful to the Congregations United in Marriage Equality. And we are very grateful for your support. And thank you.
Hello, I am Rosalind Jack, and this is my partner, Paula Wiley. And we are both American citizens residing in the beautiful state of Maryland and Frederick County. This season of nonviolence is meant to honor Mahatma Gandhi and Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. It is meant to build a community that honors the dignity and worth of every human being. Race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, convictions, opinions, etc. must not result in unequal treatment under the law. And it should not reduce opportunities. I was married to a man for 14 years and have 2 beautiful daughters. When I fell in love with a woman, I soon learned that there was not the same protection under the law or the same social and economic opportunities for us as a couple. When I was married to a man, I did not have to worry about being able to legally marry. With a woman, there's no such law. I did not have to worry about being turned away from his hospital bed or from making health choices. With a woman, I could be her partner for 90 years and not be allowed at her bedside if she were ill, hurt, or dying, because I might not even be considered her family. So now, if I'm smart enough to have a legal health directive, I better carry this with me on my person at all times in case of an accident, because at least in the state of Maryland, this health directive should be honored. But what if I don't have it with me? And worse, what if I happen to be in another state nearby that doesn't honor it? In fact, when my partner actually died in 1997, I had no legal right to pick up her ashes. We had a will, but because we could not legally marry, I was taxed and devastated economically and almost homeless. The grief of her death was enough, but couple that with no legal marriage equality or protection economically, I am sorry to say that there were days when I got up, threw up, and went to work. The lack of social and economic equality in marriage rights and protection for the GLBT community is not only unequal and discriminatory, it is downright inhumane and non-existent. I was blessed in 1999 to again fall in love with a woman, Paula, who is my love and my companion, my partner, and a gift to God from me. From God. From me. Whoops. Now, while my daughters still call us their moms, there was and it is much legal worry in that for both of us. For if something happened to me, my loving partner would have no legal rights to protect or support my beautiful daughters, or perhaps again, even medical access. What do we want? We want the same marriage equality, the same freedom and rights, the same social and economic protection as heterosexual couples. And yes, we accept the same legal responsibilities. Paul and I are honored to be here today, especially because we know we speak for many more couples. Today, I pray that we come together in support and understanding that the bridge of diversity is paved with the similarities of human experiences. Thank you.
I'm Paula Wiley. I'm a resident of Frederick County and have been for over 13 years and an active voter for 45. I'm a blessed, beloved child of God who has a joyous experience, the honor and the commitment of loving Roz for over 13 years. She is my spiritual partner and she is my life partner. There is no law that can take away that love, that joy, and the challenge from me. But there is an interpretation of the law that challenges my peace of mind. My beloved is an entrepreneur. Her livelihood is based on her physical ability and health. During this recession, she has not been able to afford health care. In the passing of the marriage equality, that would allow me the ability of putting her on my health care insurance plan. I'm blessed to be a senior citizen. But with that comes other concerns. In the future, if we both needed assisted living, not only would we experience emotions involved with such a major life change, we would be separated. We would not be able to live together, perhaps not even in the same location. If either of us would need nursing home care, without marriage equality, to receive Medicaid coverage, which is the only way we could afford it, one of us would have to pack up, move, and sell our family home. And with only half of the market's value, where would we move, especially if the market stays the same as it is? My will and power of attorney are legal documents. They protect me and they protect Ross. But without marriage equality, they are vulnerable to challenges from disgruntled family members, and I have those. Marriage to be is a recognition of the highest possible commitment that can be made between two adults. I want to marry Ross, my love. We know that there are others who have had similar experiences and feel as we do and have the same concerns and the worries. We believe everyone desires, especially during our senior years, the security, the respect, the peace of mind, and human dignity. And we thank you for being here and your open hearts and minds.
Is it hot in here or what? It ain't the furnace. It is the passion. I'm Reverend Doug Griffin, interim pastor of Grace United Church of Christ on 2nd Street. By being here, we have shown by our presence here today that as people of faith, we believe marriage equality to be a justice issue that cannot be dropped and cannot be maintained in silence. We have heard didn't have to press hard, thank you. Received commitments from our elected leaders to support Civil Marriage Protection Act, SB 241. And we have heard their commitment to that support for marriage equality for all Marylanders. But the work is not finished. This meeting may be finished, but our work is not done. But we're trying to make it easy for you folks. Manley, where are you? See that fellow with the, right there. See Manley? And Manley Calhoun is with the Marylanders for Marriage Equality. There is a table back there. I'm going to suggest 3 simple things that I want all of you to do. There's food back here. So it doesn't matter how long that line is, you can eat while you're waiting. Here they are. First is, we deeply regret that Delegate Patrick Hogan was not here tonight. But I want everyone here to write a letter to him before leaving here tonight. Manley has the materials, addresses, all you need, expressing your commitment as a person of faith and urging him to support this legislation. Second, volunteer here in Frederick, either to help with phone calls or direct canvassing. Manley can help you with that schedule and to get involved between now and the important vote. And finally, plan to join other supporters in Annapolis for Equality Maryland Lobby Day, Monday, February 13, 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. Manley will have the details. This is how we go out from this place and get it done, make it happen. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Gives us the following words, the same words that are on the lintel over the Supreme Court building of the United States. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice you shall pursue. This is not a question. This is not a suggestion. We are commanded to pursue justice. And what is a greater example of justice than treating all people equally? Let us pray. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Mikor Chaim, our God, God of our fathers and mothers, the source of all life. Marriage to many is life. It is the expression of love between two people who dearly love each other. God, grant life to all people in this state. Grant this life to all people in this country. Let all enjoy the love, that they can share openly, without regrets, without wonder. Grant us the strength to go from here to get this law passed, and so that all people will have justice in their lives. Amen.
Fabulous. We have, thank everybody for coming. Thank you so much, our elected officials, for being supportive in the past. We have some wonderful refreshments back there, and you'll notice the table is decorated with the rainbow cloths, and in the center, the centerpiece is something that when there's a wedding reception here is used for weddings. So floral arrangement is used for weddings, so that seemed appropriate. So thank you very much for coming. Keep doing stuff, and we'll hopefully get this law passed this year. Thanks very much.